Hey everybody, what's up? Dennis Alexander here with Dent Baron. Today's video is going to be a long one. It's 24 minutes. Let me know if you like the longer version video. If you don't, we can go back to the standard 5-minute, 3-minute videos. I hope you enjoy this video today. It's going to be glue pulling on rails with the hot box, talking about glue guns, slide hammer, mini lifter, and specialty tools that I like on fenders at the end of the video if you make it that far. Thanks for watching. What is going on, everybody? Today's episode is going to be glue pulling. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Leave a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. All right, here we go. Just a little 150 to 200 dents on the driver's side cell panel and rail. Same thing on the passenger side, and that's what we're going to show you today. We'll be using primarily the Keco dead center tabs. So what you're seeing here is I'm using a torch to heat the panel up and get the glue back to an elasticity. So when I go to pull it, it doesn't break the paint or break the glue, and it keeps the glue from being brittle and easier to get off the panel with your alcohol. As you can see here, what I'm showing you is 2 dents. So the dents near the edge of the panel where I'm touching or showing you here, those dents are going to be very difficult to get out. So it's going to require a lot more force to pull that along the body lines as well. Now inside this area here where there's no real strength in the panel, it's much easier to cause dents and much easier to get the dents out with the glue pulling technique. So it does not require as much force with the slide hammer or the mini lifter to get those dents up. And the same thing right here on the top of the rails. That little part is very difficult. You gotta give a little bit more force. I'm gonna use 4 tabs, dead center tabs, 2 different sizes, and I'm going to use the mini lifter on 2 of those, and I'm going to pull 2 other tabs with my hand. So when you use the mini lifter, you're going to get a sharper pull, and it's going to get a lot more of the dent inside out, creating like a mountain or a peak. And when you pull with your hand, it's not going to pull as strong, so you're going to get more of a dome shape or a shallower peak. So depending on how shallow the dent is or how sharp the dent is, you can use the mini lifter to turn it inside out, or if it's a really shallow dent, you can pull the tab with your hand and you won't have to have so much work knocking it down with your blending hammer or your knockdown tool. And I'll show you exactly what we're talking about here as soon as I pull this. So with the mini lifter, you'll see how sharp those dents are as soon as I clean them off with the glue tab. And these 2 here we're going to pull off with our hand. It's a pretty good technique whenever you have a lot of dents and you want to not have to do so much work. The cleanup work is the most time consuming, knocking down those high spots. It takes a lot of time and effort, especially when you're new at it and you're learning. It makes it very difficult when you have so many dents. So the less work you can create for yourself, the more efficient you will be and happier, I promise you that. It's something that took me a while to kind of figure out and learn. I remember someone talking about pulling tabs with their hand, so I tried it and tried to see how it works, and it works pretty good. You can see how sharp that is right there. That was with the mini lifter. Turn that dent inside out completely, and the ones below it really didn't pull it too hard. I mean, it really didn't do anything, so there's not that much cleanup. It will require another glue tab to get those circled dents clean, but depends on what you're comfortable with and your skill level. And when I usually start off dents, especially sharper ones, or high spots, I use a more blunt tip so I can knock down a lot of that high spot, and that way it allows me to be more efficient, more productive. And then I'll follow it up with a sharper knockdown, and usually a metal knockdown. Like this one's metal and it's a much sharper tip, so it allows me to be more precise and knock down the actual high spot and not the entire panel around it. That's why I go to metal knockdowns. Seems to work out pretty well for me. So give it a shot. Try out different knockdowns, different tips. Just see what works best for you. Okay, so here's the actual rail above the doors, between the doors and the roof panel. It's quite a few dents. We're going to pretty much do the same thing. We're going to use the dead center Keco ice tabs. They have been a game changer for me this year. That's pretty much all I have been using for the majority of my dents. When they're bigger dents, I'll go to like a Laka tab, the square ones, or the triangle tabs, or what else would I use? The square black ice tabs, I use those quite a bit for bigger dents. But they work very well. Just practice with them, use different glues, practice with the slide hammer, practice with the mini lifter. Some people don't like using the mini lifters on rails because they'll leave indentions from the feet of the mini lifter. But once you practice enough and know where to put those feet at, you're not going to have that problem. And I used to primarily use the slide hammer, but after doing it for so long, it'll start wearing your wrist out and your shoulder out, pulling that slide hammer up. And it's just easier on your body to use the mini lifter if you can use it. So that's why I've switched to a mini lifter. I heard that all he uses is a mini lifter. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. So I decided to try it and go back to trying using the mini lifter, and I did. I think he said he uses it because his shoulder was hurting him or something like that, or he had rotator cuff surgery. I think he made a post on one of the Facebook groups about that. So it's helped me, but I still use the slide hammer when I really want to get those big, deep dents out. I'll just go straight to a slide hammer and do a wet pull. Yeah. That's another topic of discussion is wet pulls. They're really great once you learn how to do that. But here I am. I'm using the my blending hammer. I got this from, they don't sell this one anymore, but I like using the what is that tip called? Match grade tip. I've had it for 3 years. It works great. And the other one is a new tip I got this past winter from, who did I get it from? I don't know. Edgy Tools. That's right, Edgy Tools. The reason why I switched to that tip, the metal one, is because the larger knockdown tips are so big, it's more difficult for me to be precise when I'm knocking down high spots with the metal tip, the mushroom style tips. So I went to a shorter or a more narrow one. It allows me to be more precise when I'm tapping down. That's why I did it. And it's just preference. Whatever you're used to using or whatever you're good at or feel comfortable with, go with it. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable when you're repairing damage, go that route. Everybody's different. And I really like these match grade tips. I mean, I've had the same tip for 3 years, and I mean, it's just been incredible. The only bad thing is if you drop it on the ground, for some reason, it messes them up. I don't know. I guess that'll happen to any tip, I guess. So for the next 7.5 minutes, I'm gonna not say anything at all. You just watch this in real time. If you want to skip past the real time of actual knockdown and glue pulling, you can do that, or you can watch it. Enjoy. And after that, we're going to show some more on the other side and some favorite tools as well. Also, we'll be doing the hot box as well on the other side, showing you how we use the hot box and going from that, transitioning to tabs. So for glue guns, I have several different type of glue guns I use. I have two battery power types. One's a Stucky and one's a limited with the Milwaukee 6-volt amp. Those both work great. The only problem with both of them is they leak glue and it's very annoying. The other two I have are 120 volt. Actually I have three 120 volts. One from Dent I got whenever, and it has a long chamber for glue sticks whenever you're using the super tabs, doing really large dent repairs. That glue gun is really great for using a lot of glue on those super tabs. I got another one from Dent and it's from Europe. It has a really thin metal nozzle, and I love that glue gun. It's really great, but the only problem is it leaks glue as well. It gets really hot, which is beautiful. Unlike the Stucky, it doesn't get that hot. Stucky glue gun, I hardly use it anymore because it doesn't get hot enough for me personally. But my all-time favorite, I just started using it again a few weeks ago, and it was the first one I ever purchased. And it's your basic 120 volt glue gun for like $20 from A1 Tools with the glue kit you get. I mean, that thing, it does not leak. It's the only glue gun I have that does not leak. Which, I'm like, this is just ridiculous. $20? Why not? It's only $20. Yes, you have to plug it in 120 volt. That's the only thing that is frustrating about it, but it doesn't leak. Alright, so my favorite Fender tools are two tools that I got from PDR Finesse. Both of them are amazing. One's adjustable handle and one has an adjustable tip you can put on there. So the adjustable handle is a sharp tip, this one right here. It's great for getting inside the lips of fenders, and also you can use it in getting the taillight areas where you can get up in the taillight and you can reach behind the taillight where you normally couldn't. You can see those on PDR Finesse. Subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think. As always, have a great day.